Cozy is not forever, and that's crazy coming out of my mouth, but I have some valid points and I want to make my case because even though it's not forever, we can still make it happen every single day. So let's jump into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to Cozy and Thriving. I'm your host Michaela, and this is a podcast where we just learn to build a life that we actually want to be present for while also building to our dream life. I'm not about just ignoring your current life and just hoping and wishing for the future, but I'm also not against hoping and wishing for the future because I think that we all can have our dreams come true. So that is just what this podcast is about. But specifically, this episode today is just kind of talking about how cozy isn't forever, how busy seasons come, how we're not failing when we get busy and we're wanting to live this like slow lifestyle, building to the best version of ourselves, the happiest version of ourselves, the self that dreams big and reaches her goals and everything. And sometimes that takes busy seasons. So we're going to get into it. We're going to hop into it. We're going to make life cozy all the time, but also be okay embracing the busy seasons. Okay, let's start with recognizing that there are different seasons. Even just like when you think of the word season, you probably think of spring, summer, fall, winter. Those seasons all have different things happening in the earth, in nature. The weather changes. Some people's mood changes, which for me, I'm trying to keep my mood up because I don't like the summer, but we had a whole episode last week about the summer. But that just kind of happens in life in general. We have seasons that are busier than others. I know sometimes people don't really like the Christmas season because it's constant parties. There's no really sitting down. People are always gathering. There's a bunch of things to do, to-do lists to complete and things to buy. And it just doesn't feel like a season of coziness. For other people, it may be. So you just have to recognize what season you're in. Right now, I am in a growth period of my business, of my podcast, of my content creation, and it's taking a lot more time, and I'm not having as much time to be cozy as I would like to be. The cozy lifestyle isn't just about the aesthetics. It's not just about what you do. It's not just about hobbies. Cozy is actually building something that you enjoy doing, and when you do it, when you're in that environment, when you do that thing, that is what makes you cozy. So if you've been listening to my podcast, you know I love my home. My home is one place that I just feel at peace. I feel safe. I feel just as cozy as can be at home. And I've created that atmosphere for myself here. There are things that I do that just feel super cozy, like playing my Switch or coloring or reading. Those all just make me feel super cozy. So when I'm doing those activities and I'm in my house and I put them together, it's just this big cozy thing. And it's not about the aesthetics. It's not about what I'm wearing. It's not about what I'm drinking. Even though those things add to it, that's not the end all be all of cozy. And it's not the end all be all of slow living. Cozy living and slow living go hand in hand for me. But though that type of lifestyle is not just only for when things are slow. It's not just for when, nothing's going on, you're not busy, you're not working, you're not doing XYZ. It's not just for that. It's about like finding those little pockets of time, even in those busy seasons. And when I was writing like everything out for this podcast episode, I throw it into ChatGPT to kind of like help lay it out in a like better format. And ChatGPT changed all of the busy words to hustle. And here we don't talk about hustling. There's a difference between being busy and working hard and going past that point of burnout, of tiredness, of everything. And that's when you hit hustle. I just have to push through this because once I push through it, then I'll be on the other side. I get that people can be busy, but when you push past that little threshold, you do become a part of that hustle. And so I did not want to include hustle in here because I don't believe in it. Over here, we don't believe in hustling, but we do believe in working hard and working toward our goals. Busy seasons are okay. Busy seasons can be beautiful. It means that you are growing. I just think about like when I was doing my tomatoes, even though I only got one tomato out of my tomato plants, but that's okay. I'll try again next year. I definitely need to do a little bit more research, but that's okay. But during that time, I was caring for them. I was having to water them. I was having to watch over them. I was having to just put a lot of time and energy into taking care of my tomato plants. That required busyness, that required me to be more attentive, but I had something growing. I had something that was going to produce fruit at the end. And so if I'm dreaming for this dream life, if I'm building towards this dream life of financial freedom, of a better life for me and my family, I don't know, just like a new car, like whatever it is, whatever you are dreaming for, whatever your hopes and dreams and like your dream life looks like, whatever that is, takes putting things into place and doing those things. And sometimes that means you're busy. Sometimes that means you have to say no to going out. Sometimes that means that you have to say no to doing a hobby, but you don't want to push past that burnout point. You don't want to get burnt out, but you also don't want to wish these busy seasons away because in the end, it's going to pay off so much. It's going to pay off so much when you do that. But however, because seasons always shift, it won't be that way forever. So you will be back into this cozy routine. I'm so excited because this week, I was talking to my husband, we were walking and I was like, guess what next week is? Because it's the week after July 4th. It means that all the stores are going to start putting out their fall stuff. So it means fall shopping week for me. And I'm like preparing for that season because that season is going to be a busy one, but it's going to be so fun because it's just full of cozy activities, things that I love. Pumpkin spice lattes. Yes, I'm basic like that. Pumpkin patches, apple cider. I might even watch Gilmore Girls again, but the season shifts. So you won't be in this busy season forever. You won't be in this hot season forever. You won't be in this building and grow season forever. You will get to a place where that season will shift and you will start to see the fruit of your labor. You'll start to see the busyness pay off. So you'll be at that point ready to welcome the slow season when it comes. So the goal of this episode is to help you navigate through those busy seasons and not to eliminate them, because we're going to look at busyness as growth and cozy as your way to navigate them. Okay. These next few sections are going to be like journal prompts, and I'll put them on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. I'll also put them in the description of this episode so that way you can copy and paste them into notes or write them down or whatever, screenshot it, however you like to take these questions. As I read these questions, I'm also going to answer them from my perspective just to kind of show you a little bit about me, tell you a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes. And yeah, I think it's going to be fun. We're going to get out of this busy season on a high note and have a good, slow, cozy season. So the very first question that I have is, what season of life am I in right now? So this is where you're going to really just look at your life and be like, okay, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis? Am I feeling rushed? Am I feeling like I'm doing a lot? Do I feel like I ever have any free time? If you're answering those questions as, no, I don't have any free time. I feel like my days are booked packed. I don't have any time to do anything else besides work or my responsibilities or whatever. Then you would say, I'm in a busy season. If you're like, yeah, I work Monday, Tuesday, but then like Wednesdays, I feel like I'm kind of like chilling. Thursdays, it picks back up a little bit, but Friday is like kind of like I'm ending out and my weekends are always free. I would say that you're in a slow season of life, and that's wonderful too. Both of these seasons are great. Cozy doesn't last forever. Busyness doesn't last forever. They change, okay? The seasons change. So for me right now, I do think that I am in a busy season. Like I said at the beginning, there's just some things that I'm doing with the podcast. There's things that I'm doing with my business and things that I'm doing with like my content that I'm just kind of like restructuring. And it is taking a little bit more time than I would like it to be. But I know that within the next couple of weeks, in the next couple of months, in the next season, it's going to pay off. I'm going to have a better system. I'm going to be able to do things in a slower way, have a slower lifestyle when it comes to my content creation. That's just where I am right now. That's just where I am. I'm in a busy season of life. Question number 2 is, how do I feel about this season? So this would be your feelings. Are you resenting it? Are you grateful for it? Are you overwhelmed? I think at the beginning of this season, I was feeling a little bit, there's a lot going on. I wouldn't say overwhelmed, because I definitely prayed for the amount of work that I had. I definitely prayed to be able to continue to make content and just to work from home and everything. So I was grateful in that way, but there was a lot coming in. So I think I was just feeling a little stressed, and I didn't have the systems in place to help that stress level go down. I think I took on too much work, like more work than I think I could handle. And I finally have come out. I've finally caught up and I'm feeling really good, but I definitely was in that. So I think at this stage, I would say that I started off grateful, then got stressed, and now I'm grateful again. So that's where I am in my season. Question number 3 is, where can I make space for even one cozy moment each day? Like, where in my day can I make space for this cozy moment? And if you're listening on Sunday, make sure to follow me on Instagram at It's Michaela Barnes. And I might post this also on the Cozy and Thriving Pod Instagram account, so you follow me on both. But I'm going to be like sharing more ways to have these cozy moments each day. And then last week I did post a video of just kind of like how to build your dream morning, like how you're going to have the best dream morning routine in the summertime so you don't feel like you're missing any of your summer. And you basically get a whole day within 3 hours, but it's still so slow. So I would go check that out as well. I think I posted it on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So any of those, you can find it. But that one cozy moment a day for me is literally in the morning. I talk about my mornings a lot. I really cherish my mornings and I love being a morning person. I've like slowly stopped becoming such a night owl. I think at one point in my life, I just would have rather been up late and then slept in the next day. But now it's like the opposite. I think that I just really love being awake in the morning and doing things before the rest of the world gets up. So that is like my cozy moment. I just, wake up. The first thing that I do is journal, pray, and then I'll go on a walk, I'll work out, I'll make a cup of coffee, my breakfast, and kind of just like slowly go through the day that way. But for you, it could be maybe lunchtime. You're like, okay, I'm going to eat my lunch and color, or I'm going to eat my lunch, go outside and listen to my favorite podcast, or I'm just going to go like sit in my car and close my eyes for a little bit. Make sure to set an alarm. Don't miss your next shift or whatever. So just find that one time a day, and it does not have to be hours on end. It could be an hour, it could be 30 minutes, it could be 15 minutes, it could be 5 minutes. Just find a spot in your day where you can add a little cozy moment, a little slow moment. Question number 4 is, how can I remind myself that this season won't last forever? For me, this is a really big one, because in the middle of a season, I always think about this. Like when I have a cold or something, I'm like, when is this cold going to go away? Like, when is it going to be over? Because I can't even remember what it feels like to be fully healthy while you're in the middle of that like sickness. And so I feel the same way. Like even now when it's summer, I'm like, what does it even feel like to have cold air? Like, what does it feel like to walk outside my house and have to put on a full-on coat and hat and gloves and like thick socks because it's so cold? Like, I can't remember that. That's just me. I don't know why. I then think, okay, I've had a cold before and I've gotten over it before. It's only going to last a season. Take care of yourself in this season. Or it's summer. It's not going to last forever. And there's things that you do in the summer, like go to the beach, swim, be outside, have longer walks, go on hikes, all those things that you don't do in the wintertime because it's too cold. So make sure you enjoy this season of being warm and hot and sweaty, even though it's gross, because at some point you're not going to be able to do those things that you like to do. So that's how I would get out of it. I don't know any other way of getting out of it, but if you think of one, put it in the comments, because I want to know, so that way I can kind of remind myself like, hey, this isn't going to be forever. You're not going to be in this busy season forever. You're not going to be in this trying to quote unquote make it with your content and stuff forever. Like, it's going to happen because I'm putting my mind to it and I'm really making this a business. It's not just silly little videos that I'm doing. Like, I enjoy this and I want this to be my job. And then number 5, the question is, what would it look like to embrace the season instead of resisting it? Resistance is one of the things that can hold us back the most. I think that resistance and just kind of like being upset all the time about your busy season or your schedule or your work or whatever, whenever you're resisting, I feel like you're putting this barrier up that just doesn't allow you to get over it. Like, you don't get over that hump. You don't get over that like little bump that you need to get over to be on the other side of it. You're resisting it. You're not doing as much as you could be. You're not working as much as you could be because you're pushing those things away. You're pushing your busy seasons away. So the goals that you're trying to obtain, the dreams that you're trying to obtain, it gets further away because you're resisting the season where you should be putting in the work to build to that. You know, like loving the season that you're in to get to that next step. I want to give you like a little bit of an example. So my husband and I have these really nice cameras. One that I'm using right now, it's the Fujifilm X-T3 for those of you who care. And I also have a Sony ZV-1F, I think it's called. The quality on those cameras do not compare. The Sony is good, I feel like, for short form content, where the Fuji is good for like my podcast or when I'm doing like YouTube content. I love using the Fuji for that, but I have not always been that way. I would literally resist using it. Like, I would really resist using it. I was like, it's too much to set up. I have to set up a light. I have to put up a monitor. I have to plug it into a battery source because the battery of the actual camera is not that good. And there's just like all these things. I also couldn't figure out how to autofocus it. I started like my photography career on Canon. So just like learning the Fuji was like a really big learning curve that took me years to do. But now that I use it, I happily set it up every single time. And I was like, you know what? This season is not going to last forever. I'm going to have a camera that it won't need to be set up every single time. I'll have a podcast studio that I can just go to, sit down, turn the camera on. I won't have to set things up every single time and break them down. And I just like am embracing the season that I'm in right now because this podcast is right now in my house, my cozy little house. I love, but I have big dreams and hopes for this podcast. And I get to embrace the season right now where I can work from home and I'm not going out. And yeah, that's like a point of resistance, I think. I'm putting in the work to make sure that my quality is good where I'm at and not being lazy just because I don't have exactly what I want right now. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so for this next section, I have some more journal prompts for you, but I think that I'm just going to read them out loud. I'll put them on the screen and you can screenshot them. I'm not going to go through all of these because this is just kind of like a reflection and kind of just inward, like thinking inwardly about your season and your situation. I feel like it's really good to just kind of like know the ins and outs of why you think the way you do, why you're feeling the way you do, so that way you can change it. So there's 7 questions, and I would like, honestly, I would put these in your notes on your phone and just kind of like have them for when you're feeling like, okay, why is my season not cozy? I've been building to make my season cozy. Why am I not feeling cozy right now? I would just have these questions ready and on hand. Okay. So like I said, put them on the screen. They'll be in the description and you'll also audibly hear me ask them to you. So number 1, when was the last time I felt truly at peace or cozy? What was different about that time? So I guess that's like 1A and B. Question number 2, what am I afraid will happen if I slow down? So this is like taking a break in your busy season. Like if you were to say no to one thing, what do you think will happen? What is one thing on my plate I can release or delegate? How would my life feel if I rested? What does thriving look like for me in this season? And how can I show myself grace right now? Keep this in your phone, journal about them, think about them. Just whenever you're like in in a busy season. I think that will help kind of just show you where you are, and then you'll be like, okay, now I need to make the mindset shift. Now I need to say, okay, I want to embrace this season that I'm in because it's a growth period. This is a period where I am building towards something. And there's also a difference, which I'm not going to go all the way into on this episode, but there is a difference between busyness, as in you're just doing a lot for your dreams and just building something, or building a business, building a podcast, building your dream life. And then there's busy that just is like, I am just needing to be busy to like distract myself. And I don't think that type of busy is good, to distract yourself from whatever. But the other busy of dreaming big is. So also figure out which one you're at, and that also will kind of determine what you need to do. If you're just being busy just to be busy, you are in a slow season, but choosing not to be. So that's just where I'm going to leave it. That's where I'm going to leave it for now. Okay, so now we are going to talk about some practical tips on how you can have a cozy lifestyle in a busy season. How you can add a little bit of cozy, add a little bit of slowness to your lifestyle without missing anything or burning yourself out, and even keeping yourself like from burning out because you're putting systems in place to slow down, be cozy, and just be in the moment. So, number one is to wake up earlier on purpose. I talk about this all the time. I like to get up 3 hours before I have to start work, so that way I can have a slow morning. So I know not everybody can get up 3 to 4 hours earlier, because I know some people could like work at 7, and getting up 3 hours before that is literally 5. So I get it. I understand. I'm not saying that everybody needs to get up that early, but if you do have the ability to get up even like 30 minutes earlier than you have been getting up, just have that 30 minutes to like wake yourself up slowly, do things slower, and not be in such a rush, you will see such a difference in your day. Number 2 would be to replace your screen time with something tactical. So instead of waking up right away and scrolling, or even just like if you're on a break from your job, or like you're just like cleaning your house or whatever, and you just need to like sit down for a second, like instead of grabbing your phone, grab a book, grab something to draw, grab a hobby. ChatGPT said to bake or to knit. I do not knit. I do like to bake, but I haven't been recently. And that's also like a whole thing. Like if you just need a break really quick, like you don't have to bake. But at nighttime, like if you're done with dinner and everything, and you're just like, okay, this is the time where I just usually sit down and scroll, like make some cookies, make some muffins for the mornings, prepare your breakfast for the next day. If you do like overnight oats or whatever, like you have the option to like cook a little bit. I would say try that for a few days. And if it isn't like really not working for you, like go back to the phone. But I personally would try to grab something else. And even if it is my phone, like sometimes I'll be cleaning the kitchen, and instead of like putting on a YouTube video on the TV, I will play like a podcast on my phone, like have my headphones in, or I'll listen to a book or whatever, but I'm not like staring at a screen or like keep like looking back to look at a screen. I just think it's a little bit easier to do that. So it's not like getting rid of your phone completely, but it is not just like staring at it. Okay, number 3 is to curate your environment. So I work from home, so a lot of the examples that I have are for people that work from home. But I would say lighting a candle while you work, soft music in the background, cozy lighting at night. Y'all know me and the bright white lights are non-existent when it's dark outside. It's all warm lighting. Like you could come into my house and you probably be like, it's kind of still dark in here. And I'd be like, yes, because when the sun goes down, like I don't need a whole lot of artificial light to just keep me up at night. Like let's just cool it down. Let's make it calm. Do you remember like if you've watched Friends when he was like this, Ross? That's what I feel like. Tone down the lights, okay? Make them orange, make them cozy. But doing these things, if you do work like in an office or somewhere where you can't have a candle or play your music out loud or whatever, find something to like add to your space that's going to make it a little cozier. You could also literally add like, I have this knit sweater that is like I was about to say homemade. It's hand knit, a hand knit sweater. You can hang that on the back of your chair if that's literally the only thing. Like if you're like, the only thing that I can have in my office is a jacket, bring like this sweater and hang it on the back of your chair, and it's already going to look 10 times cozier because you have like this nice cozy sweater. It's helping you just make peace, make calm, make cozy in the middle of your busy season. Number 4 is to make a big deal of the ordinary. So when you make your coffee in the morning, instead of like rushing out the door to go to Starbucks or a coffee shop or Wawa or whatever, make it at home. Make it like in your coffee pot, or if you have an espresso machine, make a little latte. Make it fun. Make it something that like is like, I set aside time to make my latte and not rush out the door to go buy some. It's going to save you money, and it's also just going to feel a little bit better. Like you have a homemade coffee. Also, something that I really want to get better at is stretching before I go to bed, and just stretching in general, because I do sit for the majority of the day because I'm an editor. So I like edit all day long and I'm sitting all day long. So walking and working out and stretching are things that I really want to prioritize because of that. And so stretching before bed, I think, is really good because it kind of helps just like relax your body. You just let go of things. Your back's not hurting when you lay down. Just stretching before bed. A little bit of cozy. 5 minutes, a little bit of cozy. Okay, I think that was 4. So 5 would be to have micro breaks in your day. So 5 minutes of walking. If you work in an office, you can get up from your desk for 5 minutes to walk to the bathroom and to come back. You can walk and just like take some deep breaths. You can walk and listen to something. If you can take like a little bit of a longer break, like go outside, walk around your building. If you work from home, obviously walk around your neighborhood. Just taking these little micro breaks of like being intentional. Again, cozy, slow living, intentional. I say that word all the time. That's really what it is just being intentional. Okay, I forgot what number we're on. I think 6. Yeah. 6 is weekend planning for rest. So Monday through Friday, I work. On the weekend, I literally have in my Google Calendar, Saturday is a free day. There's nothing planned in that day unless it's like, friends or family or whatever, they want to do something. That day is 9 times out of 10 open. I will fill it like days before. It's not like something that's like planned way in advance all the time. Saturdays, I have a really slow morning. If you are super, super busy in your week, find an hour that is a do nothing hour. Even if it's literally before you go to bed, take that hour and do nothing but what you like to do. So if that's watching your favorite TV show, if that's reading a book, if that is talking on the phone with a friend, if that's literally staring at a wall, do it for an hour. Find a time. But I would say do this on the weekend because you'll have more of that time, I think. But yeah, just block a do nothing hour and say no to an extra plan if you're super, super, super busy. Like I said, Saturdays are 9 times out of 10 free for me. But if I know that there is a Saturday where I'm doing something, Sunday where I'm doing something, Monday through Friday, obviously working, the next weekend, if somebody asks, I'm like, it depends what we're doing. It depends what we're doing, because if it's too long, if I'm out all day, if I don't get another chance to rest, I just don't want to do it. So I will say no. But that's just me. Okay. And the last one is honor the shift. So when the season changes, let it change. It's okay. It won't be there forever, and don't hold on to your busy season when the slow season comes back around, because just like I said at the beginning, cozy season won't last forever, neither will the busy season. So I hope that this helps you guys, because it really was something that I needed just in this season of change, honestly, for my content and for my podcast and everything. Like, it just felt like there was a lot happening and I wasn't able to catch up, and I'm like doing all of these things, and I had to remember, like, I prayed for this literally. So the fact that I prayed for it means that I'm now living in it, and I can't then pray for something and then just be like, oh my gosh, why am I so busy? Why? Like, I can't do that. So if you're dreaming and you're hoping for something and you're having to build and you're in a building season that's just like super, super busy, like, don't get upset, because it's something that you just have to do to get to that goal, to get to that dream. So, like I said, I hope this helps you guys. I'm so excited for the rest of 2025. We have 6 months left, and that's so crazy to me. I really feel like 2024, and yes, I said the right year, 2024 just happened. Like, that's what I feel like. So the fact that we're halfway through 2025 is crazy to me. And yeah, it's just wild. That's all I have for you. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at It's Michaela Barnes and at Cozy and Thriving Pod. And I'm a little bit more active on TikTok, so you can follow me on TikTok at It's Michaela Barnes. And what else? Like, share, comment, subscribe, rate the podcast 5 stars. It lets YouTube know, it lets all the platforms know that this is a good podcast to listen to, and it will push this podcast out to other people that are like you, that need just a little help, just need a little encouragement for this busy season. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and until next time, everybody, bye.